You're probably asking yourself, where is Beppe Red Shop? In kind of stance, I will tell you in a second, but first of all, let me tell you what we'll speak about in today's video. Today we'll speak about double standards. You probably heard yesterday that we were speaking about, or that in Italy they were speaking about a verdict that has come on the Ultra case, Inter with Cianaloglu, with Inzaghi, that will not be able to participate to the game of Verona. I will tell you everything. Ciao Juventini of the world, my name is Giuseppe, welcome back on the channel. Double standards on media coverage and on sporting justice. This is, according to me, the huge big problem in Italy. Has always been like that, is like that, and it's a problem. Equality is absolutely not there. But first of all, let me tell you where I am. I am in the airport of Brussels, Zaventem. Super happy to be there because I'm going to Sardinia, first to Munich, first plane, then the second one to Sardinia for the JFA event 2025, where I will meet a lot of Juventini from all over the world, Juventini of the world, the presidents of the fan clubs of Juve for an official event. I will also be able to meet two players from Juve. If you want to start guessing in the comment section, you can. They played both together in 2011-12. in 12-13, then one of them left, the other one continued for more years. So legends of Juve, especially from the first Scudetto of Antonio Conte and the second one as well. So if you want to guess, both of them are Italian also. It's another spoiler that I'm telling you. So if you want to, let me know in the comment section. I can't wait. Here at the moment, I tell you, Red Shop, which is really beautiful. You can take a coffee, you can take a breakfast, you can also play a bit of football, you can watch football on television with some Champions League. It's really nice, and the staff is also extremely kind. That's nice, also because we are speaking about football, so let's go speak about football. Double standards, well, that's what I told you, about media coverage and about sporting justice. If sometimes you are seeing that I'm watching here and there, it's because I'm not home, so I try to be structured, writing on a paper or a tissue that I ask and that they kindly give me. So it has always been like that. It's a huge big problem. It has always been like that since 2006, for example. I don't know if you were already born, if you were already following football, Juve, if you were able to get the papers back then in time, in 2006, how they covered Calciopoli has been a real shame, a big one, a huge big one, because before the verdict, they were already putting Juve on big pages during the entire summer and even before. Sent Juventus in second division, in third division, cancel Juventus from planet Earth, putting a lot of pressure also in sporting justice to decide extremely fast, to take a decision, to punish, to make Juventus an example. 2006, guys. Sporting justice, you like it or not, is also influenced by media, because the media is influencing the mass, the people that are protesting. They are not understanding. They want a decision fast, and sporting justice is, in that case, especially because we are speaking about the biggest club in Italy, taking fast decisions, something that they are extremely proud about. And when they are speaking about Juve, we are really proud to take fast decisions, because tac, it needs to be fast. We cannot wait. While for other clubs, we know it, you're still in court for Roma, for Napoli, for so many things. Now, not only Calciopoli, plus Valenza, it's a bit more recent. Also, media coverage. Do you remember? -10, -15, send Juventus in second division. All the days we were speaking about it, because the front pages of certain papers were speaking only about that. There was Agnelli, there was Nedved, there was Arriva Bene, there was the broken logo of Juve. It was a total disaster. Instead of speaking about the World Cup that was going on there in Qatar, we were speaking about that because we had a lot of information. Also the referee decision, in a minor tone, of course, because we are not speaking about the same. But did you notice that when there is a mistake in favor of Juve, the day after you see così non va, like this, it's not acceptable. VAR, non così, VAR, not like that. And you see the big mistake in benefit of Juve. When it's for other teams, you see it, because they report it on page 22 on the bottom right corner, something that you really need glasses to see that news. So different in how they cover the media, and that's the big point. Now we go to the Ultra case, because that's the example. That's what I want to talk about in today's video. Ultra case. Yesterday there was the verdict on Inter on Milan. You know that here on the channel I just covered it in the beginning, and I said one thing. I want equity. What I asked for Juve, it means respect, waiting for a verdict to come out before speaking about it. That's how I would have loved that the media was covering the news, announcing that there is a problem, there is a court, there is a process ongoing, and then coming back when there are updates, significant updates, or a verdict, Well, they didn't do it back then. I wanted to do it also for Inter, also for Milan, because you know it. We already have enough problems with our team. If I start paying attention to what the other teams are doing, we have a huge big problem. And that's not what I wanted to do, also because of respect. As long as they are not guilty, well, maximum of respect. But yesterday, the verdict came out. Ultra case, what is it? Of course, the relationship, the link between some persons from Inter and also from Milan with the Ultra, but not ultra like that, ultra that are linked to the mafia. And that's the huge big problem. There have been one that has been killed, and that's where everything went out. The box was open with all the news. They had to do something, so the news was leaked back then. And that's where the process started, the investigation started, okay? Yesterday the verdict came. Inzaghi and Cianaloglu, they found a plea deal, so an agreement with La Lega, with Sporting Justice. They found a plea deal where they will have 1 game of ban. So both of them will not be present against Verona in the upcoming game, and they will have a fine. On top of that, Inter, because they are, let me see how I wrote it, objective responsibility, they will have a fine of 70k, while Milan will have 30k. There is one more player that needs to be, the investigation are still ongoing because they didn't find a plea deal. It's Calabria, ex-Milan, that is now at Bologna. Okay, that's the context where we are today. Now, that being said, objective responsibility, that was the word that I was looking for. The big double standard that I was speaking about is that back then, 8 years ago, we had more or less the same similar case than Inter and Milan. Let me say hello. Wait, because she's going. I need to say hello now because they're super kind with me since this morning, because I was here, so I need to say hello. You see, we make friends all over the world with one common passion, that is football, of course. Even if they don't care about sporting justice, even if they don't care really about Juventus, they are really caring about the brand, about Belgian football, but that's another story. So let me go back to our topic. Agnelli, 8 years ago. What happened is that at a certain moment he goes to the police, or I don't know where, to denounce, to report some links with Ultra, some pressure from Ultra to the club, and these Ultra were linked to the mafia. So Agnelli is going, you know that today the relationship between Ultra and the club, especially Ultra and Agnelli, are a total disaster. If for years they were not singing, they were not supporting the team, they were not chanting at all, it is because of that fact, because Agnelli went proactively in denouncing these facts. You know what they asked back then? 30 months of inhibition. 30 months of inhibition, that's nearly 3 years. Asked for Agnelli not being able to be again the president of Juve. You're destroying a career like that. At the end, after the court was done, they gave a verdict, 1 year of inhibition for President Agnelli, while La Lega, while Sporting Justice, they were not happy. La Lega made an appeal because they said, we are not happy with 1 year, we want more. At the end, after further investigation, they went down to a few months plus a fine. Okay, what is the reason why he has been punished? Because they said, even if you denounced, even if you were proactive in going and reporting, you could not know that there were these contacts between the club and between the ultra that were linked with mafia. You should have known, because you are responsible for Juve, and that's why he has been banned for a few months at the end. Okay, that's a big story. For Inter, and that's the big difference, Inter didn't report these facts. How did it came to light? It's because there was one of the ultra that was in Malavita, the bad life, that was actually killed, and then everything exploded. Everything was to the light of everyone, to the eyes of everyone, and then they needed to take some decisions. They needed to speak about it. They were obliged about it. But it's not Inter that went proactively. That's a big difference. Agnelli, they were asking 30 months, finishing on the papers, while Inter, while Milan, they didn't report anything. At the moment, only 2 guys, Simone Inzaghi, Cianaloglu, 1 game of ban, a small fine of 70k for Inter. You see the huge big differences? Now, back then, it's not everything, because every single day you were able to follow the news on big papers with Agnelli big page, Agnelli linked to mafia. At a certain moment there were even leaked calls between Agnelli and the ultra that were, but we are not I will not repeat it. We are not speaking about normal ultra. We are speaking about the ones that are linked with mafia. That's pay attention how we are using that word. So I will not. I will just say ultra. Okay, you know what section I'm speaking about. There were even calls between Agnelli and Ultra. Agnelli was obliged to go in the anti-mafia service to explain himself what these calls were. Leaked phone calls. At the end, you know what? These calls didn't exist. They were fake phone calls that actually were created ad hoc. He was obliged to put his face on it, to say, this cause doesn't exist. It's not me that I'm speaking. You are making a huge, big mistake. Disaster, huh? Papers covering every single day, push since day one, and that's what I'm telling you, the big double standards with one that is finished every single day, where the sporting justice is influenced. They are obliged to take a decision because, it's really dirt, huh? A president of the biggest club of Italy that is linked with anti-mafia, that you are able to read internationally on the papers every single day, it's a problem, you need to act. Did you see a lot of news about Inter? Did you see and read a lot of news about Milan? You didn't. At a certain moment, they spoke about it again, huh? Page 22, bottom right corner, in a little box that you needed glasses to see. And I think that that's correct. That's the correct way of doing it. It's not Juve that was correct. It's correct on reporting these news really small there on the bottom corner for Inter, for Milan, or maybe for the future cases. Everyone is innocent until you have a verdict that is telling you that you are guilty. If you're not guilty, you're not guilty, guys, huh? But it's strange how you report both news. It's really, really extremely strange. Inter and Milan, again, zero news. We never spoke about it for two reasons. First, out of respect. Secondly, because there was no news to report to you. Now, and that's the last part before closing that video, is that the decision of the date of announcing the verdict is extremely strange. You don't want to think about complotismo, about manipulation, about strange stories in your head, but they are obliging you, because the verdict comes on the 1st of May. 1st of May, you know it, nearly everywhere in the world, it's the Labor Day, which means that nobody's working. The journalists are not working, the papers are not working. Look at today, there are no front pages, Gazzetta, Corriere, Tutto Sport, Quotidiano Sportivo, nobody worked yesterday, which means that today you have no papers, nobody can report the news. Well, yesterday the verdict has been announced. Strange, coincidence or not, that today nobody can put it on the front page, the result. It's strange, no? It's a pure coincidence or not? Tell me, maybe you know more, maybe I'm crazy, but it's strange because the entire world, Milan fans, Juve fans, everyone are asking themselves how come that they are publishing that news on the 1st of May. Also, how come that it comes right after the Champions League game between Barca and Inter, and it comes right before an internal game at home against Verona, a ban of Cianaloglu, again a ban against Inzaghi for one game. It's better to not have them and to rest them right before the game. Resting Inzaghi, no, but resting Cianaloglu to have him at 100% in form against Barcelona. It's better to have him at home resting against Verona than against, I don't know, in the semi-final of Coppa Italia against Milan, or in Champions League, or in whatever other big, huge game. I believe they play against Lazio soon. I don't remember by heart. But it's strange that it's again against Verona. Maybe it's a coincidence again, but the date, the 1st of May, the game that is upcoming, all of these kind of things are really strange, really strange. Then, there are total different things and you cannot compare it. But one found a plea deal for having contacts with Ultra that were not doing correct things. One, the coach was asking for extra tickets for them to resell at 8 times the price. They received 1 game of ban. Kenan Yildiz looked like he was an assassin for that kick. Elbow kick. 2 games of ban. It's strange. But that's the rules, huh? We cannot complain, the rules are like that. But it's strange that one you are asking 30 months is finishing on the papers and the other one not. That's what I'm telling you. Media coverage. My biggest battle has always been media coverage. Media coverage, how they are influencing sporting justice that is not equal to everyone. And for the Romanisti, for the Laziali, for the Interisti, for the Milanisti, for whatever people, and the Juventini that are watching this channel, probably this video, I'm telling you, I'm not against your club on that case. Huh? I don't blame Inter, I don't blame Milan. I don't blame Inzaghi, I don't blame Cianaloglu or Marotta. That's not what I want. I don't want more punishment, more bans. That's not what I'm asking. What I'm asking is equality, equity between Juve and the other clubs. Why for Juve you finish on the paper for 2 months? There are leaked calls that are even fake. Why? There are already requests from the papers to send them in Serie B, in the canceling the club. Why do we see broken logos? And for the other ones, we don't see news. The other one is correct. The first one, question mark. Let me know what you thought about this video. Thank you for arriving here. I'm sorry I was not home, so it's probably not a perfect video, not how I would have done it at home, but I wanted to give you an update about that one. Grazie, forza, Juve. Ciao.